Welcome to the final part of the Final Fantasy 15 demo playthrough, and yes, you are not imagining it. This was uploaded on the same day as part 4 because it's 13 minutes long, and all the other parts are like half an hour. Because
I can just hear some people saying, like, after Final Fantasy 9 playthrough, they see 15 going up, and like, oh god, another one.
Well, to be fair, they
Nah,
play incredibly differently, so.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, also, this is just a demo, so
Calm your
yeah.
tits.
In any case, we got we got ourselves a summon, and summons in this game, in this demo at least, work in a kind of annoying way. You need to get Noctis down intentionally to 0 HP,
You
so that
need to be at the brink of death.
he's stumbling around dying, and then you need to hold a button to do the summon. However, the actual summon, which we're about to see, is the most fucking awesome thing ever because someone finally took the concept of summoning in an RPG, in a JRPG, and took it to its logical conclusion. You know? It's kind of like if someone were to render the way in Streets of Rage, you know how that police car off to the side shows up and nukes the screen with a bazooka. If they were to show that in a realistic fashion, it would be about as ridiculous as what you're about to see now.
I
So,
love the
yeah.
build-up for the summon.
Oh
Like, you see
yeah.
the lightning storm.
Who
you
summoned
see-
Shenron?
What's going on with Deadeye?
Did you use witch time or something?
All the enemies freeze when you summon, so that the animation can play out. Ramu has an Ixion staff, by the way.
Is that a fuck you to 10?
I
Do
think
people
it's
not
more-
like Exion as like the thunder?
I think it's more of a good-natured reference, you know.
Yeah. I was like, I took your thunder horse and placed it on a pike, and now it's my thunder staff.
But yeah, you might notice that Ramu not only does 9,999 damage, he does it multiple times. So, we are now officially looking at a summon, an early game summon, mind you, that according to this demo is more ridiculous than the Knights of the Round.
Wait, is it multi-hit? Because I thought
Yeah,
it
it was
just-
multi-hit. You kept seeing 9999 flash up
Oh
multiple
no,
times.
I thought it was just 99,999.
Well,
like he broke the damage cap.
It's multi-hit in Deadeye's case because he actually has more than 9,999 HP on his own.
Yeah,
But,
I thought it was 99,999.
All the other enemies that you would hit this guy with, not counting the Catablipas, I suppose, are enemies that would. And yeah, I'm trying to jump on Deadeye so that I can teabag him, but
Yeah, get
he's a
wrecked, son. And what?
But he's a solid object, but the physics engine won't let you land on him. You slide around him. Oh, graphics glitches.
Oh man, are we having one of Cloud's flashbacks or something?
There never was a behemoth.
I didn't notice that while I was editing these parts together. Usually that doesn't happen so early on in a recording session, so I don't usually... God damn it, Hophug. Why?
You just seem to have trouble with every recording software that you try to use. I've noticed.
Yes, I know. It's the most fucking aggravating thing, and here I am trying to record something like Persona 3. Do you have any idea how stressful it is to sit down and say, I'm going to record a 60-hour game now, and know that there's like a 50% probability of at least one recording glitch every 2 hours?
That's generally
Oh,
why I
well.
stop at 2 hours.
Oh, man.
So
yeah.
what do you do after you kill Deadeye?
You run across the field. And yeah, there was another frame drop, one that I actually did catch because this one desynced the audio.
Oh, lovely.
And when that happens, basically your only recourse is to cut the video and then slide the second part of the video over just a little bit so that it matches the audio.
Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta sync it back up.
That was the biggest pain in the ass way back when I was recording the original Pokemon Yellow playthrough we did like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Because the way I was recording that, Audacity had a slightly different frame rate or whatever rate than I think I was using Cam Studio at the time to record from an emulator. So what I would always have to do was at the beginning of battles, there's a flash, and that's when the music starts. So I got really used to hearing Widdly Widdly Woo and syncing that up to that little flash. So.
Yeah. You want to know a really annoying thing about these side quests where you find the signs that say saber tusks in the area? Okay, suppose you killed all the saber tusks before you got that. What do you suppose you have to do?
Run around and find some more.
No, you have to go camp, start the day over again, and then
Oh,
go get
fun.
a side quest. Yeah.
I hope
I
that's something they change for the final game. Like when you find a
Ah.
side quest, it's just part of your side quest log or whatever, and you can do it whenever.
Well, what I really hope is that, you don't have to, like, if you've already completed a side quest before you pick it up, just do what Xenoblade Chronicles does and complete the side quest. Don't stick it in my quest log and then make it impossible to do.
Xenoblade is a very convenient game to play, though. You can change anything you need at any point, so that you're never stuck. It's just there's also a fuck lot of stuff to do in Xenoblade, so it's a little overwhelming as well.
It looks more overwhelming than it is, I would say, because it's...
I got through about half of the game. I got through about 40 hours, and when I realized that, like, I was like 40, 50 hours in and I still was only about halfway through, that's when I started to feel a little bit like I'm never gonna finish.
How did you approach it? Did you like do every single thing you could do on the way and stuff?
Not really. I tried to do most of the timed quests because I knew that those were stuff that I would miss if I waited out on them. So that's how I did that. But I think it was when I realized that I hadn't really done any heart-to-hearts, which increased affinity, that I went back to go and try to do them, that I got worn out. It's basically, if you miss something, you're just better off keeping on going instead of trying to go back and catch up, because that's going to get you fatigued when you're playing that game. So,
Yeah, you tell him, Noctis. We don't need a car.
I walk a lonely road.
It's better to tackle Xenoblade side quests in small doses, really. You don't need to do it all at once. There's no reason to do it all at once, unless you're very specifically following Chugga Conroy's playthrough where he's doing everything he possibly can at the most optimal times. But yeah, our final destination in this epic fantasy adventure is a roadside gas station.
How did we get? Did
How
we just push the
mundane.
car here or something?
It got towed.
Sid. Yeah,
We just watched the lightning god destroy a Deadeye.
Sid in this universe is, I guess, the owner of a gas station, which, actually, considering the way he acts in Final Fantasy VII, isn't that far out there. But yeah, the final thing that you have to do in order to get the money you need for the car is to actually go into your inventory and sell one of the items that you get from Deadeye. Specifically, what is it called? The Behemoth
Horn.
Horn, which, sells for 25,000 gil, and what you need is 26,000.
4,000.
24,000 gil in order to fix the car.
Which means, I guess it goes without saying, is it possible to accumulate that much gil without ever having to fight Deadeye?
I'm sure it's possible, but why would you?
The thing is, there are so few items in this demo that sell for a decent amount of gil. Like, look at this. I'm selling 53 items for around
265
gil. Yeah. That's the kind of annoying loot logic that bugged me in Final Fantasy XII. Like, you get basically nothing. And sure, that's realistic, but if you're going to talk realism, I shouldn't be able to carry that many monster horns in my pocket.
Yes, Cloud. I don't know why those random monsters had 354 gil in a random fire ring. You will never know the sure.
It will forever be a mystery.
The only characteristic that I can get from this character is the southern accent, by the way. Is there an American South in Final Fantasy Land?
I get what you're talking about with Sid's design, though, because... Cindy, whatever. I get what you're talking... Whatever.
Sid, wow, you've really
You've,
changed since last time I saw you.
No, but
Filled
like
out.
I really get what people are talking about. That's kind of obnoxious, actually.
It's jarring. You know, I don't mind a design like that in a game like Dead or Alive because you're expecting it, and I don't mind a design like that in a game like Bayonetta because, well, you're expecting it. It just sort of feels out of place here. Like everyone else you see, from the NPCs to your own characters, looks like they're dressed in a way that you'd expect. Except Gladiolus here, who's going around bare-chested, but I just sort of get the idea that he does that. Um, but I don't even know. It's like this character isn't dressed in a way that suggests she's spending her day fixing cars.
Yeah, it's almost like the trucker hat was used as a last minute
You know what? Actually,
patch up.
and this might be. It kind of looks like a porn costume for a trucker themed shoot a little
And,
bit.
you know, I'm holding out hope that in the actual game, when we see more than one scene of her, Cindy will actually be an enjoyable character, because I can sort of see shades of that in this one scene. She seems like she's got a sassy enough personality without being totally out there. You know, a fun character to have on screen. And just, you know, there's not much to her here. And, you know, if you're going to have one character that you're going to show off in one cutscene for a demo, I'd rather have an interesting one than eye candy. You know, it's just...
Which is what she apparently serves, nothing but.
Yeah, it's like, we've got this is like, between this and the opening cutscene, we've got basically no cutscenes in this demo. Just this scene and the scene of the guys waking up in their camping tent. The first scene was really interesting because it gave you an idea of what sort of relationship these characters had, as well as some shade of what their quest is. This ending scene is just them having their car fixed, and for some reason, boobs, I guess. It's like, okay, we've also got this other major character that we're all really curious about. What's her name? I still can't pronounce it. Fleury. The character that was shown off in, like, pretty much all the trailers before this. Nothing for her. Nothing interesting for her. Nothing.
It's about, like, you could have totally... I was already sort of interested in Cindy by how she was just totally scoffing at...
This on screen right here makes me really curious. What happened there?
I'm gonna have to play the
What
full
is this
game to find
character's
out.
role in the story? Yeah, but you know what? That's the thing. That's the exact thing. This is a really weak note for this demo to end on, because that scene tells you nothing about the game or the direction it's going. It's just sort of there. Whereas this stuff here, there's a lot going on. A lot of stuff happening. A lot of intrigue happening.
Yeah, it's supposed to catch your attention, as the demo
Yeah.
should. But I know what you're getting at. Like what we play has nothing to do with what that teaser at the end just demonstrated.
Yeah.
You know, it's typical demo stuff. You know.
Typical demo stuff usually focuses on the more cinematic aspects of a game, though. It'll usually like, okay, the God of War 3 demo, which is another pre-release demo that I had the good fortune to be able to play. It didn't really get into the story, but it did go through a sequence that gave you a good idea of the scope you were in for. I'm pretty sure you fought a Titan during that demo. It's been years since I played it, because this demo was out around the time I was still recording game footage for YouTube via webcam. Like, I got a sense of where things were going, and it didn't feel like anything in the demo was superfluous. Okay, almost everything in this demo is good at what it does. The first cutscene that we get gives us an idea of who our party members are and what their relationship with each other is. The actual gameplay scenario gives us a good idea of what sort of world we're in for, and how it's treating staple elements of the Final Fantasy mythos. Then we just have this scene at the gas station at the very end that leaves a sour taste in my mouth because it takes a potentially good element of the story and how do I put this? Sort of treats it like I'm trying to find a good analogy here, but it's not coming to me.
The only thing I really am bothered by in the end of 15, and not so much with the teaser, but again, it is Cindy, because as I was saying earlier before Lewis mentioned the teaser, I'm already intrigued by Cindy by how she like playfully, shoots down every advance that the guys make on her, and she has a playful personality. She didn't need to have the outfit to like accentuate that, you know?
Yeah. I'm not as stuck on the outfit as the dissonance between her being there and everything else around her, though. Because
Nah, I don't mind her being there. It's just
well, like I mentioned, The Witcher 1 before, and I don't really have that many problems with the Witcher series. Like, you'll occasionally get people complaining about it, but the one thing that I haven't been able to wrap my head around is the first game. Because in all the other games that followed, all of the characters make sense with each other. They look like they come from the same universe. In The Witcher 1, and this is as early as the start of the game, you have all of your characters, all of your Witchers, dressed up in, sort of Lord of the Rings-esque leather armor outfits going on. Maybe a little bit more tighter and stylized than you would see in a Lord of the Rings movie, but it's got that same feel. And then Triss Merigold walks on screen, and she looks like a character from Dragon's Crown. And she doesn't look like this in any of the other games, just the first one.
so. What you're getting at is that you think Sydney doesn't thematically fit within the rest of the cast.
Doesn't fit. Yeah, it's kind of like if I were to compare it to something that doesn't have anything to do with fan service, it's sort of like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where you've got live action people and cartoon characters on the same screen. And that's a little over the top as an example, but it's the sense that I get. It doesn't look like it should be there.
I would say the outfit has everything to do with that.
Yeah, but it's not because the outfit itself is a problem. It's just because the outfit doesn't fit with the stuff around it.
But that's pretty much the same thing. The outfit has everything to do with it.
Yeah, but I wanna underline this as my complaint specifically because I know people in the comments are already typing out frothing at the mouth, rage-filled comments about how I'm a prude. That's not what I'm saying. I would have no problem with the outfit if it were in another game that did that kind of thing more regularly.
Yeah.
Like if it was in Xenoblade Chronicles X, for example, because fan service is everywhere in that series. Like it wouldn't assault my brain so much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I feel the outfit's unnecessary because Cindy, from what I've gathered from that small interaction, feels like someone who wouldn't wear something like that.
Yeah, kind of. Well, someone who would wear something outgoing, but not as out there.
Not quite that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like the design overshot its own intention there.
Or maybe she's just completely oblivious, and that's part of her character.
Well, here's the thing. This is the shortest part of the demo, and we're still going on like forever. Women don't always wear sexy clothes to impress men. Sometimes women just like to wear sexy clothes because they like them. So, just because a woman is exposing their cleavage doesn't mean they want you to be like drooling over them. They can wear whatever they want without like needing to be.
Yes, and I, if an actual woman was doing that, I would just.
Well,
no,
no real woman is going to wear a costume like that in the real world, though.
Well, the difference between real women and a character like Cindy is Cindy was almost certainly designed by a guy.
Yeah.
Like.
And we throw almost certainly because We don't know.
I haven't looked up the designer credits, but in my experience, when a woman designs a character that's intended to be sexy, what you get is something like Bayonetta. And Bayonetta, okay, yeah, she has the whole hair thing where she goes almost naked when she does a demon summoning attack. Never mind that. Her outfit design is very interesting. It does a lot of stylistic stuff. In both games, she has very intricate clothing going on. It's not just let's show how much skin we can get away with. There's a lot of fashion there. It's like you can tell she really takes pride in her appearance and is dressing that way because she likes it. Whereas with a character who's just in booty shorts with her underwear hanging out, it's less. It feels less like what that character would want and more like what the designers think guys want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's also part of the dissonance because everyone else in the game is dressing in a way that suits them. And I feel like at this point we could have just made a discussion video about this topic because we might go on longer than the goddamn video. What time are we at?
20 minutes.
Okay,
We're at
I think
20
it's
minutes.
time we cut this off.
So are you guys
because-
gonna play Final Fantasy Type 0 now? Huh? I mean, you bought the game.
I played Type 0.
I don't actually own the game anymore. I played it for a while. I traded it in.
Do you still have
But,
the 15 demo?
The demo was a download code, so yeah.
Oh, that's
I'm
amazing.
looking forward to 15.
Same
Now,
here.
You laughed at that, but you know what the funniest thing I've ever traded in is? The PlayStation 3 version of Portal 2, because it came with the Steam version, which was also a download code. So I still own the game.
Oh, that's amazing.